Hello and welcome to Channel's Book Club. I am Olakunle Kasumo. Security is a major subject in Nigeria at the moment. In the last few years, the country has grappled with what some have described as a security crisis, considering the challenges posed by insurgents, kidnappers, fraudsters, robbers, and others. This book, titled National Security, the Background Check Option, written by Frank Oyorhigho, a background check specialist, questions our approach to critical security issues in Nigeria and proposes background checks as one of the most effective ways of safeguarding lives, properties, and businesses in the country. Frank joined us at the Channel's Book Club to review his book and explore its subjects. Enjoy it. Frank, nice to have you on Channel's Book Club.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
National Security, the Background Check Option. Everybody should read your book.
I think so.
I mean, it's a national issue.
Yeah.
It's an international issue. It's a global issue. I mean, I could speculate, but I'd like to hear from you. Why did you write this book? What led to it?
Okay, thank you. I wanted us to look at security from a fresh perspective. Each time you talk about security, what comes to mind is police, soldier, bomb, gun, and all that. And having been in the background check profession for a while, and I looked at it that, look, this is a potential solution to majority of our security, especially domestic security issues. Mm-hmm. But both the populace and the government, nobody is looking at that side. They see it more as a tool to pursue your opponent, a political opponent. If you don't want your opponent to get to where you want him to get to, so go and do background check and find out the few things about him that you can use to nail him. Yeah. But I look at that shouldn't be the whole essence of background check. People want to employ, yes, but we can take it further. And if we look at background check from a perspective of security, it's going to do a lot, and it's going to save the police from working from a blank end. For instance, if there's a crime and the first thing, like, who do you suspect? But if every employer, every landlord, everybody have background check report of who they deal with, the police could use that as a benchmark to start the investigation process. And it can also serve as prevention. Sometimes as a society, we are more reactive than proactive. But if we apply the concept of background check, it's going to be a proactive solution to crime, to insecurity, and it will cost less. Now, if I give you an example, you want to employ a driver, and the driver tells you that he has worked in 2, 3, 4, 5 places, and you take that hooker, liner, and sinker and employ him. And then tomorrow he moves away with the car. Where are you going to start your search from?
It's gone.
It's gone. But you are willing to pay the police 500,000 to get information on how to locate the car. But if you had spent just 20,000, 30,000 naira to go and verify those information, it will serve as a check to the driver. It will serve as a security protection for you because you have information about him. So once he knows you have information, that will curb him from misbehaving. We have the landlord who wants to get a tenant into his house. All he's concerned about is he working? He doesn't have money to pay the rent. And he says, yes, this is where I work. I work in Shell. And on the basis of that, you are happy, you give him your house. And then there's a problem tomorrow. You go to Shell and say, he doesn't work. We don't even know him. He only said that to be able to deceive you so you can give him his house. But if you go and find out, you may just find out and discover that he was a troublemaker in his former house. And that's why he was given a quit notice. So, and that will help you to get information and say, okay, look, from the information I gathered, from background check information I gathered, you can't stay in this house because you are reported to be known to be a troublemaker. That has saved the other tenants the problem or the trouble of giving a criminal, so to say, an opportunity to be in the house. So
those obvious realities led you to write the book.
The government
one of the things that struck me, again, this is obvious, but then, you know, at times you are reading and then you are thinking, you know, struck me in your book is the way you highlighted the need for almost everybody almost every sector, and then things we take for granted, like you just mentioned now, a landlord doing a background check, perhaps even a tenant
do a background check. Exactly.
School owner, a parent who wants to take a child to school, the insurance sector, the banking sector, the various sectors of the economy, and all that. So it's something that cuts across every board. And then, but unfortunately, it's almost contradictory, in quotes, to the culture we have built of not doing it before employing people.
Yeah, that's like I said initially, we are very reactive. So what we are saying, by the essence of this book, what we're just telling the government that, look, go through this book and understand that if you back up this idea of background check, make it, legislate on it, make it compulsory. Let people be held responsible if there are issues and you say, okay, do you have a background check report of this person? And he says no, then sorry, we can't help you. You know, for instance, when Fashola said all landlords should pay, tenants should pay 1 year, even though they're reconstant landlords, but it became a culture. Sometimes you meet some landlords and say, no, it's 1 year. Even when the agent wants to make it 2 years, landlord say, no, because government
become legal.
Exactly. So it becomes legal. The government backs background check and says, okay, for every employment you do, for every transaction, so long as it has a human relationship, conduct background check. Then no person will employ a housemaid and not find out where it's coming from. No, foolishly we go to Cotonou and pick a house girl, and then we don't know it. Then tomorrow it goes away with your money, with your necklaces, with your jewelries, and then
with your child.
With your child, and there's just no trace. So if it happens, and then you go to the police, and the police say, do you have background check report of this person? They say, no, so sorry, we can't help you. You can't blame the police because it's a law.
Yeah. So everybody is then forced to do it.
It becomes a culture.
Becomes a culture.
Yes. Apart from doing it formally, you can do it informally. You're talking to somebody, look, I can do this, yeah, you can do this. I'm going to check what you are saying. You say, yeah, no problem. So if he says, no, what is the essence of checking? Then you know that something is wrong. But if he says, well, go ahead, go and check it, then you take a step further to prove him wrong or right, and then you check it. So once it becomes a culture, but that culture can only be driven if government backs it up by legislature.